What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. Before we proceed, as always, like, subscribe, follow on Instagram, TikTok, or X, Red Devils Corner Kick Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and then RD Corner Kick Pod on X. And then, not Instagram again. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Like, subscribe, comment as well. I do appreciate those that have commented, especially those new subscribers to the podcast. I really do appreciate it. So continue to support as well, like commenting. I do appreciate the feedback. Again, if you want to do collaborations, do shoot me a direct message either through social media as well. Would definitely like to help, or definitely like any pointers to help grow this podcast. But it's time to move forward with this. Why are we moving forward? Because the international break has come to an end. The final games of the UEFA qualifiers for the World Cup has come to an end today. The last games were played today. If you got the Portugal game, depends on how you felt about the Portugal game. Bruno played all right. Portugal themselves played all right, winning 3-2 against Hungary. The big story today was Norway's big 11 goals scored, winning 11-1. We did see Denmark win the other day or yesterday. Højlund did get a goal with the assist from Patrick Dorgu. If you watched the Israel-Italy game, I'm sure you left your head scratching as well. And England winning big 5-0. But yes, now that that's done and the media now can focus on the players in the club, because obviously since it's the international break and there's no Premier League games, and well, what can you do now instead of just look at what some of the media have been doing and some fans have been doing is just talking about Ruben Amorim. Last episode I did talk about is United moving in the right direction. Spoiler alert, I ended up saying yes. The reason why I said that is because of the changes being made, backing the manager with everything that's still going on, to moving on from the players that are not going to fit this system, that are not going to fit the ideas of the culture that they're trying to create at Manchester United. So we're seeing that at the moment. Obviously, the operational side, we're seeing those changes over the last 18 months. It's obviously changes had to be done. We've seen the improvement with Carrington. Obviously, the talks about the new stadium, that won't be for a while. But we're seeing good things happen with the club. And listen, it's always going to take time. And I've mentioned it before. We can talk about United and Amorim till the cows come home, but right now, what we want, not what we want. Certain groups of the fan base want him gone. They want stuff going because they assume that the manager should start getting the players to play. The manager should be playing to his players, not to what the manager wants. The United board, Ruben Amorim, are trying to establish a new culture. They're trying to establish something that shows that United need to be moving for change. They're setting up a way. Obviously, the new 2-year talk was players who are not performing within 2 years of joining, they will be looked to be sold or moved on, which is good because there's been a few players at this club that need to potentially move on because they haven't lived up to the expectations of the signings. Obviously, money spent on transfers, those funds have gone down. They're definitely doing the right negotiations. So we're seeing here steps in the right direction for the club. So, and we're moving on from players. Again, you just saw everyone but Malacia has been gone, and there's potential that Malacia could be going too, because I believe the Turkish window is closing tomorrow. So he could be potentially gone as well, and then that's it. Now there's still more players that could potentially be gone. We still have a new January transfer window coming. So we may have players moving on. We may see Bruno moving on next summer. We may be seeing Harry Maguire moving on. Casemiro, we know, will be moving on. Like, we will see players not here next summer. And listen, next year, next transfer window and next summer is going to be the transfer windows for the mid. Why? Like I said, Casemiro, Bruno, and Ugarte could all potentially be gone. Casemiro, definitely. Ugarte, possibly, because of the mandate set by Manchester United. Bruno, because he could potentially be going to Saudi. So, yeah, we could have 3 midfielders gone, which means we would only have Kobe and Collier, who should be returning from West Brom, because he was on loan for the summer. Kone, who we'll hopefully get to see him play. His development, obviously there was a hiccup in his development due to the injury that he just sustained last month. But for certain things that we've seen, like Ruben has liked it. The board they even canceled the loan that he was supposed to go do because they want to see him break into the team. So those are going to be your potential 3 midfielders next summer. And hopefully that we're qualifying for Europe. So we have to build up depth. So obviously the club is going to look at players. They have to. They have to look at players that fit the culture, fit what the manager wants. So it's going to take time. It is. And everything that the fan base wants. Like, everyone's just like, oh, it's got to go now. We have to start moving now. We're not seeing any improvement. Well, when you watched last year, there was some improvement. And you're seeing the improvement now in the stats. It's just like the agenda just to change managers is just the same old story. Listen, Man United's always going to be in the news. They always want something to talk about with Manchester United. And to me, the manager should not be going. Players need to be going because that's what they're doing. They're making changes to the club. Now, that might be scaring certain medias because now they're going to have to start talking about, oh, now they're doing the right thing. No, we have to go back to the agenda of just, we have to move on from Amorim. Like, I saw some stuff from Talk Sports. Come on. It's going to take time. And the fan base, those certain fan bases need to get onto it as well. They need to show their support for Ruben. Because again, like, they want the world the way they want it right now, but they're not willing to wait what it's going to take to get to it. It's going to, like, again, one summer's not going to change anything. One transfer window's not going to change anything. It's going to take at least 2 seasons. And last season, you can say, oh, well, he had the January 1. Great. Patrick Dorgu did not fix anything. He did not help it. Like, did he score the 50 goals that we needed? No. Garnacho, Rashford struggled. Antony struggled. Ahmad got injured. Bruno was our most consistent player. We had difficulty. Delot struggled. The whole team. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you haven't heard the news, last season they fucking sucked. They were awful. We finished 15th. Yes, we made it to a Euro final. Guess what? We lost because we didn't also play very well. We did have our struggles. In Europe, the play, like, you saw what they could do with these players, but it's still not enough with these players. You have to bring them in to fit the system. You have to bring them in to fit the culture. The attitude had to go. Garnacho's gone. Attitude gone. Antony, goodbye. Rashford in Barcelona. Højlund, who was very respectable during the whole thing. He's off to Napoli. Tyrone Malacia, still in the works. Andre Onana, who has been very verbal since his move. There's something I saw on Instagram today or about some stuff. So, in the way he acted. Listen, some of the players that are moving on did not take responsibility for the way they played. Rasmus was the one that was willing to fight and make himself better. But, like, Antony didn't want to shoulder any blame that he struggled. The press conference that he made about Real Betis and Byron. let it be. He's off to his new chapter. He's off to the team that he cried for and wanted. He's there. I did see something with Garnacho about how things went before he left, and he made something. He made a public notice. At the end of the day, what's done is done. He's moved on. But they're not going to be here next summer. Hopefully, for some of those players that are gone, they won't be here. Why? Because we have an agenda. Like, we have an idea that they want to create, and it takes time. And I know that we're playing the Derby. We have Chelsea the week after. We have Liverpool in a month. But ladies and gentlemen, it's going to take time. It is. Like, you're going to be in a world for her. And I'm sure now with the signings of Lamens, now with, again, everyone back, two of the biggest matchups. If he doesn't score, doesn't come out with a draw minimum, they'll be crying for it. They're crying for it now that they want him gone. This is not the episode I wanted to discuss, by the way. I wanted to discuss having the club back. And we're ready to be excited what we're hoping to see, But, like, United, it should have been a short recap about the episode. So I do apologize that you're almost 12 minutes in, and it may seem like a vent or a logic, but listen, the one thing is they're focusing on the future, and that's the good thing. They're looking at targeting midfielders. Baliba, Wharton are potential targets. They're looking outside. I know there's talks of Stiller that they're looking at as well. Looking at the Portuguese league, obviously trying to get some players from Sporting. But they are doing good things. I think I saw a player from Sevilla that could potentially be in talks with joining with the club too, or as a target. But again, it's going to take time. Like, they're planning things out. They're trying to build. And if we got every player that we wanted, perfect. Great. This transfer window. But we weren't winning the Premier League in the first 3 games. We weren't. And by the way, every fan member was jumping for joy after the Arsenal loss. It's the truth. Everyone was jumping for joy. Everyone was upset because and how everything was done. How Kobe Manu wasn't being played. How Kobe Manu hasn't been involved. Well, Kobe did get involved in Grimsby, and that did not work out well. Then we had the Burnley game. Burnley was... We should have had 50 goals in is an over-exaggeration. I do apologize, but we should have had 2 or 3 extra goals at halftime. We should have had 2 extra goals in the second half. But we had our brain... Like, the squad is, like, again, I've mentioned to it, it's a mental state. That's what it is. So it's just a matter of, they have to get the players in. There's still players that need to be removed. The attitude, the mental state, that's there. It's going to come with time. But there's players there that lack discipline. Our captain sometimes lacks discipline, especially on the pitch. But we have to see how this club progresses for the year. Like, it's going to take time. And it doesn't help, again, like I mentioned, we're playing Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. We just came off of Arsenal. We're facing 4 of the top 5 from last year in the first 7 weeks of the league. So, here we are. This is what it is. It's like, I'm going to be doing my preview on, what did I say, Friday? So I'll be back Friday after this episode. So Friday I will be there as well. And I'll be doing my preview against Man City. Listen, we're at a stage where players, the system, the manager, the philosophy, it's in an infant stage. Ruben could not do what he's doing now last season. Couldn't do it during the transfer window. You can't. You can make certain changes, but you have to get things right. You can't do it. And I know people are upset with 15th. Come on. Sir Alex took over and finished 13th in his first season. Jump up to second, crashed down to 11th. I think it was by his 5th season they were calling him out. Come on. Stick with time. That's what it is. It's just sticking with time and being patient. And I've mentioned too, the biggest obstacle, and it's the media and the fan base. That's what it is. The media needs something to talk about when it comes to Manchester United, whether it's positive or, well, it's very often not positive, but it's negative. I shouldn't say negative. It's just the media wants to see in a certain way with Manchester United, and they'll try to control it, and the fans will listen to it and believe it. Or they'll be sucked into it and try to move it or motivate it themselves through their own options as well. Listen, we know what this club can do. We're seeing the stats and the shots and everything improve. It's just a matter of putting it behind the net. It is. And this international break does help players that needed to get into fit, like a Šeško. So he needs time. Having Bruno, Matthias de Ligt, obviously, from what I saw today, Casemiro did not play because due to suspension. He was not eligible to play in the game, so he came back to Carrington early. Bruno was subbed off a little early from the game today. I know he's probably on his way back to Carrington right now to prepare. So, everyone's going to be back. Dorgu should be on his way back. Everyone should be reporting tomorrow to prepare for the derby. So, will we have a full healthy squad? We don't know. No updates yet on Mateus Cunha and Mason Mount, but hopefully we do see them this weekend in the derby. Hopefully we see Šeško playing. Hopefully we see Xerxes getting time in. If it's just a matter of preparing yourselves. It's just about strategy, how it's going to look at. Are we going to see Menu playing beside Bruno? We have to protect that mid. We're facing a very good City side that has not been playing well. Holland is coming off of a 5-goal performance today, so he'll have some motivation going into the weekend. So it's just a matter of, hey, well, Bernardo Silva scored today. His goal was great. Bruno did struggle a little bit. Diego Dalot, who's been injured, came back before the Armenia game for Portugal. So and there's no been update for him. So when I do the preview, I'll probably have more information as we know. Obviously, Ruben's got his press conferences, so we still will have press conferences this week. If there's anything breaking, I'll get the episode out. So it's just yeah. But having the international break is a positive and a negative, because those that are injured are going to get time to heal. Those that needed conditioning stints will get it, who need to be there. Šeško played the full 90 minutes, so hopefully he's good to go for this weekend, fitness-wise. And then getting the practice in as well, and the training in, the familiarity of tactics will be there as well. So they're going to be prepared. City, we're getting to the point where Champions League is now starting. City has a game next week, in the middle of the week. City's, I think it was a Thursday game from what I saw. So City's going to have that. So we're at the stages where those that are participating in Europe will have those extra games in the week. Those that are still playing in domestic cups should be coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. So we're at that stage where rotation for some of the clubs that we need to play against is potentially there. So having us healthy and almost at full strength is a positive. and then coming out of this international break, hopefully not having a concern as much as it is. So yeah, so like Ruben's got some things to do this week, and it will take time. It will. It's not going to be 2 seconds here, 2 seconds there, happening right away. Like, it's going to take time. So the question is, how long are you willing to wait, folks? How long are you willing to wait with this club? That's the thing. Patience needs to be key, and unfortunately, our fan base has no reserve for it. They don't. So I think this is not the way I wanted to talk about today's episode. Yeah, but we yeah, to say the least. But listen, I'm going to be back Friday to do my preview again. Like I mentioned just moments ago, I'll be back if anything else breaks as well. But the one thing that's good is, and the one thing I haven't seen much is, you're seeing something change, and that's the one thing that could scare some people. Oh, it's great that you're moving all these players out, but we need to move players out for us to get what we want, to get a proper culture in. You have to get rid of everything else. You do, and yes, we brought in like this summer, we had a lot of issues to address. We couldn't address every issue. We couldn't, when you look at our back three, we have a load of additional players. We do, especially in the back three, our center backs, we have proper depth there, which is good. And Martinez is potentially coming back. Actually, I want to check that out. My apologies, excuse me. A little bit of a hiccup there. Let's just see if there's anything up to date with him. Mazraoui Martinez, how old's this? That's from back from August. Let's check this Manchester United Evening News. That was just reported 2 days ago. Huh? Manchester Evening News literally just posted how 2 years ago, or I posted this on the weekend, how we purchased Lissandro. What? No, it's just okay. Yeah, no news update, but I'm seeing a lot of people talk about whether or not he'll be back. Let's just say this is from a month ago. Manchester United defender Lissandro Martinez still working his way back from knee injury. Let's just see here. That was back in February. Underwent operation after that, spanning from 6 months to a year. It is claimed that Martinez's recovery is going smoothly. He could possibly be fit for the start of the new season, which is kicking off at home. I found that shocking to believe. That was a month ago. Let's just check out something here. I'm seeing I heard rumors of him potentially returning, and I see people just some people were saying the best 11, what we have here, but let's just check. Let's see if there's anything up to date with Lissandro Martinez. Oh, well, this is more. Lionel Messi pushing Barcelona to go after Lissandro Martinez. Okay. Let's just check one thing here. Okay. Yeah, because it has Cunha, Mount, Martinez, Man United's the latest possible return dates for City. Let's just see here. Mateus Cunha, hamstring. It's unclear. Like the hamstring seems to be not as bad as it was before. So hopefully we have him back this weekend. We'll be back soon. Mason Mount also suffered an injury during United's win over Burnley. Confirmed that after the game that Mount played for 30 minutes of the contest with an injury before being substituted. Obviously, that was for precautionary reasons. Okay, Lissandro Martinez since has been stepping up his recovery and has returned to training. I don't think he's returned to grass yet, but I think he's getting close. But yeah, so I know he's stepping it up. Yeah, return date is unknown. Yeah, because City and for Cunha and Mount potentially this weekend, but we're still unknown about Mount. And from what I also heard as well, not Mount, for Martinez. Martinez there's talks of him not returning this injury window, or not this international window, but after the next one. So maybe October, but he stepped it up and he's potentially there, but he's still not game fit. So he also could be, because I heard December at the earliest at one point. So yeah, and I know there's talks of, or I've seen mentions of him being paired up with Bruno in the midfield. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, like those are the two concerns. Nothing updated here with Diego Dalot. Maybe he's out longer. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's just a precautionary takeout of the squad and have him ready for City. So yeah, that's nothing. Yeah. So the good thing is we have depth. If we didn't have Cunha starting, which could be potential, Cunha may not start this weekend. We won't know until we hear press conferences. Ruben's got his press conference probably tomorrow. We know he'll have a big one before the City match, so we'll definitely hear about that when I do my episodes. But it's kind of like, again, the international window just came to an end, and right now it's just a matter of assessing, and the squad won't be really properly assessed until tomorrow. And like knock on wood, everyone came out of the international break minus Dalot, without a knock. Again, knock on wood. Some concerns, like was I concerned about a few things during the international break? Like Bruno played okay. Sesko played all right for Slovenia. Dorgu was limited for time. Same with Mateus de Ligt. I saw him coming on, was always on the bench. And Buemo seemed fine. So it's just a matter of, and Casemiro obviously did play the one game. Obviously couldn't play the second one. Let's just check out. Let's see here. Turkey. Did Turkey play in this tournament? Yes. Turkey did play. Let's just check out here. Yeah, Bayender was on the bench. Turkey lost 6-0 to, but they did come out with a win against Georgia. Turkey lost to Spain 6-0. And for the Turkey, Bayender didn't even start. Bayender was on the bench for Turkey. So some players did get their call up. Some players, when they weren't starting or getting minutes. So I guess having Bayender in there, but again, it needed time to heal up. So hopefully we have him good to go. Lamens obviously being here. I've seen reports of him stepping up his training. I heard he was playing with training with Van der Sar. So he's prepared. So the question is, will he be starting this week? I see a lot of fan channels saying throw him in. I know last episode I mentioned maybe just start Bayender, get himself familiar with everything, and then potentially Chelsea or after Chelsea. There you go. But we may see Le Mans start this week. So obviously when we get closer to the next on Friday with an episode with press conferences and everything and player updates, I'll be more inclined to seeing what's going on and make my predictions. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for the episode. Obviously more to come with the week. Obviously, again, press conferences, updates. But yeah, like with the team and everything, it's just be patient. We have to be patient. Patience is key with the squad. So, but yeah, one thing I forgot to mention at the kickstart of this episode, Manchester United women's squad. I will start trying to get episodes in about them. Obviously, big win for them on the weekend, winning 4-0 against Leicester City. They're also getting prepared for some stuff going on too, because what we have here, they got their Women's Champions League qualifying. They have that going on. They will be playing London City this weekend as well. So let me just take a look at their schedule. So obviously I did mention them, well, it was not last episode, but possibly the last two we discussed, obviously with their big wins. So let me just take a look here. Yeah, obviously drawing with Liverpool and Man City, beating Real Betis. Who else was there? Beating United, beating PSV, beating Hammarby. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. So now they're in the third qualifying round. So they have a leg against Brann, which is tomorrow at 1 p.m. So tune into that to watch. And then next week with the second leg. So again, London City this weekend. Arsenal in about 10 days, to say the least. Yep. But yes, as I get, yeah. So I'm not prepared. Yeah. But I will set up an episode to discuss. I want to be more prepared when I do an episode as well. Get myself more I'm familiar with the squad. I just need to be more prepared and be able to provide you proper information and relay correct situations or details about the squad as I prepare myself as well. So I will discuss the women's squad, but yes, they had a big win against Leicester City. A lot of expectations for them this year as well, especially with them finishing top 3 last year. They had a good summer as well. They did. Obviously finishing second at the World Sevens, which was great as well. Going back to another FA Cup. Obviously, the way they lost, it wasn't the greatest match against Chelsea. They lost big against them. So a lot of expectations going in with this women's squad this year. So I will do an episode. I will try and I'm going to get myself more prepared to do it. Obviously tonight I didn't get that there, but I did want to throw in a shout out to the women's squad. Obviously with a big win as their season's getting underway as well. So, and with them preparing for Champions League as well, they want to get in. There's chances of them being in Europe as well. So for them, but I will be discussing the women's squad. So, just like the men's squad, please be patient with them. Please be patient with me, but give me time. That way I can give you a proper episode about the women's squad. So, it will be back Friday. Preview against Man City. So keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, comment. If you want to do collaboration, please let me know. Remember, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you can listen on that. Instagram, TikTok, and X as well for my social media. I know my social media presence has been invisible, to say the least. I think that's the positive way to say it. but I will try to be more available on that as well. But please, it will take time, to say the least. But hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the podcast as well. Again, like, subscribe, comment. Please leave feedback. I want to help grow this as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the remainder of your week. I will talk to you guys Friday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.